Good morning. Welcome to the Commissioners' meeting on April 13th. We'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our prayer for the morning. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligations. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage, that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust.
Amen. I will make a motion to approve the minutes of April 6th.
And I will second that. Any changes? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes. And Commissioner Hambley will not be joining us this morning. He is out of town. Very good. We'll move on to our resolutions. First up, we have Andy Conrad, our county engineer, and standing in is Dan Becker.
Morning.
Good morning, Dan.
Where'd my glasses go? Sorry. Can't see anything. I'm getting old. All right. I've got some resolutions today for your consideration. First resolution is accepting and awarding the bid for the Medina County various road resurfacing projects on Reimer and Hartman Road. The second resolution is determining necessity to close Westfield Road between Mud Lake and Wayne County line. The third resolution is for the closing of Black River School Road between Camp and Firestone Road. The fourth resolution is for accepting the 2021 Medina County pavement planing repair bid. And the fifth resolution is a resolution lifting the weight limit reduction and improvements on various township and county roads. And then we've also got the weekly permits for your consideration.
I'll make a motion to approve the 5 resolutions.
And I'll second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
See you next week. Next up, we have Amy Lyon Galvin, our Assistant County Administrator. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning. I have 8 resolutions for your consideration this morning. The first resolution is amending the appropriation measure resolution. The second is amending the 2021 appropriations resolution by transferring appropriations. The third resolution is expenditure adjustments for various funds. The fourth resolution is revenue adjustments for various funds. Fifth resolution is cash transfers for various funds. The sixth resolution is authorizing the county auditor to transfer funds from various county department accounts to the Medina County Print Shop revenue line item. The seventh resolution is allowing expenses of county officials. This is for one individual from the Sheriff's Department to attend training in West Virginia, but she's actually going to stay in Ohio and just cross the border to go to the training. So it includes the training and the lodging and meals.
I will make a motion to approve the 8 resolutions.
Would you like me to read the last one?
Yes, I would.
May I? The 8th resolution is allowing claims for the
Sorry.
week. That's okay. In the amount of $1,155,188.45.
Thank you, Amy. Now,
I will make a motion to approve the 8 resolutions.
and I'll second. Any questions?
I flipped too soon.
Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Next up, we have Holly Murin, our Human Resources Director.
Good morning.
Good morning, Holly.
On our personal changes resolution today, we have 2 rate increases, one in Job and Family Services and one in sanitary, 1 leave of absence at Job and Family Services, and 1 resignation in sanitary.
I will make a motion to approve.
And I will second. The only one I will comment on is
I know.
very disappointing to
I
see
know.
Beth Riggins-Raymer leave us. She's going to Cuyahoga County. But,
It is a loss.
Wish her the best.
I
Yes,
know.
very much. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Next up, Jeremy Cinco, our sanitary engineer.
Morning.
Good morning.
3 resolutions for you today. Requesting the sanitary engineer to request statements of qualifications for design services. Second one is authorizing the sanitary engineer to enter into an agreement with H.R. Gray for professional design services to update the sanitary engineer's rules and regulations. And the final one is the final resolution to proceed with the proposed bridge replacement project ODOT PID 90938 on State Route 94 in Medina County.
I will make a motion to approve the 3 resolutions.
And I will second. Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on into our department updates. Laura Toth, you hiding out there, Laura? There she is.
Hi.
Office for Older Adults. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited we opened yesterday.
Congratulations.
So we've officially reopened the Medina Center as of 8 a.m. yesterday. We did a really good job of getting the word out so there wasn't an onslaught of people because things are still, activities are by appointment only. So seniors are signing up a couple days ahead of time, and then they get a call the day before. And then they're permitted to come in and go through the check-in process, like a sign-in process, and that's all to meet with the Ohio Department of Health's order. Our whole staff was tested last Friday, so we started that. That'll be happening every 2 weeks. And then yesterday we had seniors who arrived for billiards, art class, line dancing. We had several activities, and they were very happy to be back, and we were happy to have them back. So
Did they like
it's
the new
exciting.
layout?
Oh my goodness, yes! It was like shock, like, oh, this looks so great, and yeah, and that's why we did it. So I'm glad to see that slowly but surely we're getting back into the groove here. In Brunswick, we did not start senior activities. I'm meeting today with the Brunswick staff to start planning. The city of Brunswick asked us to hold on doing any senior activities at the rec center while there was still an order in place for gyms and rec centers. That order was lifted last week, and when the governor abolished a bunch of orders and put in place just the mask and social distancing general order. So we can now proceed with planning activities at the rec center. So hopefully about May 3rd, we'll start activities back there, which, believe it or not, is only like 2 weeks
I know.
away. It's going to be May. So, and we still have Zoom activities, online activities, both in Brunswick and Medina. I wanted to go over this chart. It's because I just found it fascinating.
Laura, are you still scheduling Senior Day? Is that
Yes, I was going to go. Yeah,
Okay.
that is the May 18th. I'll hit it
All
at the end there. I did a chart with meal delivery by month, and I just thought it was so interesting to show the dramatic change. It's the meal deliveries over the last 4 years. I really like this chart as it shows in 2018 and 19. In the first quarter of 2020, we were on a typical course with meal delivery, averaging just over 3,000 deliveries a month. And then you can see where we closed 13 months ago, and the pandemic closures took effect. There was that dramatic rise in May and June of last year, where it went to over 6,000 meals delivered. And we continue at that high rate today. The reason it is at 5,000 at the first quarter of 2021 instead of the 6,000, because during the CARES Act time, we were delivering 6 meals a week. So we're still delivering to the same amount of people, but we're delivering 5 meals a week. So that's kind of the difference between the six numbers in the 6,000 and then in the first quarter of this year, numbers in the 5,000. And in March, we delivered 5,359 meals.
So, Laura, do you expect that to continue? Or do
That
you
is
think
so
that's gonna start
interesting.
going down?
We have about 80 people that are getting home delivered meals that wouldn't be eligible in the before times because of not being strictly homebound. They have to, for the program through the Older Americans Act, be homebound. So we still have about 170, which is still a lot more. It's about 50 more home delivered meals than we were doing. If we, or I should say, when we start doing meals at the centers again, which probably will not be till at least third quarter this year, then we will take those people off and they'll be eligible. So we'll have it'll go back down by at least 80 meals or so. But I'm not sure if it'll go back down to this 3,000. We might be in the 4,000 range. We'll have to see. It's a good question.
So you get funding
Yes.
through various agencies for the meal program.
Correct.
Is the funding holding steady so that you have enough to provide the meals?
Yes, it is, and money was just given recently to the Older Americans Act, so that afforded us to be able to apply for more funds. And there's also money through the Ohio Department of Aging, a different fund, kind of a holdover they had of CARES money that we're eligible through June 30th. That we're looking at. I don't know if we'll be able, we have plenty of funding. I don't know if we'll be able to take advantage of meals. We've taken advantage of that fund for other things like setting up Zoom. We need a couple of speakers and things of that nature so we can do better hybrid classes. I mean, stuff like that is being applied for through that State of Ohio grant.
Okay,
But the money is there, as long as we have matching funds, which we do.
excellent.
Thanks to the levy and the kindness of the taxpayers. So that's because we do have to match those funds to a certain percentage, about 40% match from the Ohio Department. I'm sorry, the Older Americans Act. So it is a considerable amount of matching funds, but we do have it.
Very good.
Thanks. I wanted to show off our new brochure. Give each of you one. I left a supply here in case people come into admin looking for information on aging. That's brand new, created in-house. Brian Gallatin helped redesign it, and then Lisa printed it on the new printer. We're really happy with it. It's a nice design, and it's all updated to what we're doing right now.
Very nice. Very well done.
Thanks. We continue to have our parking lot bingo events and have them scheduled at the Brunswick Rec Center lot on Thursday, April 22nd and Thursday, May 6th. Our Claudia's Curbside Cuisine, the pickup meals, they continue as well on Wednesday, April 21st and Wednesday, May 12th. Anybody can call our office for information about those events. And then Senior Day finally is scheduled for Tuesday, May 18th, roughly from 10 to 12 at the Medina County Fairgrounds, and this is a drive-through event. We are getting sponsors lined up to have spots within the fairgrounds parking lot, and then we will kind of snake people around to the different spots. And we have the box lunches ordered. We will be the last booth, and people will leave with their box lunch. And we have seniors who are making reservations to drive through. That's all I have.
10 to 12.
It is 10
10
to
to
12.
Okay.
Thank you so
Very good.
much.
Thank you, Laura.
Have a great day.
Appreciate you
You
coming
too.
in. Jim, you're up. This is Jim Dieter from our Soil and Water Conservation District. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today. Give you an update on some things that are happening in the office and some things that we're planning. As you know, our tree sealing sales going on. It's been just a fantastic sale this spring. We've had over 384 orders and almost 17,000 seedlings have been sold. I mean, we're sold out of everything, and I've never, in my years of being there, I've never had everything being gone now. So it's
Wow.
kind of interesting how that all worked out, but it stayed strong all spring, so that's always good. The pickup will be the 23rd and 4th of April. We also started our fish sale, started now as we speak here. It's out on the website in our mailing. And we did put a new newsletter out that we used the new printing stuff from the county office, and it really made a nice brochure and newsletter for us. So that you will be getting those soon in the mail. This past month in March, you know the state the Envirothon that we always hold in the county, or our county schools participate in an area-wide Envirothon, which is a high school program where the students do over wildlife, current event, soils, forestry, and something else. I can't recall what it is, but Highland was a school that participated. They placed 15th in the area, and they actually placed 3rd in soils, which is something that we worked with them on, so that's kind of interesting. Also in March, or actually past February, the Ohio Federation of Soil and Water Conservation Districts had their virtual meeting this year, which typically is in Columbus. During that time frame, it's an in-person thing, but they did a virtual this year. And we had 2 people recognized there for their 30 years of service, with Steve Fulton being a supervisor for 30 years, and Beth Schnabel has been in the office for, well, in like July of this year, she'll have 30 years in. Other things that are happening, we're being real active on our websites for the Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. We've got new followers coming in every day, and Kelly and Abby do a good job of putting new videos and different things on there. And April, as you may know, is now as Native Plant Month, and we're putting new things in there as a weekly as far as native plants to look at and to plant and get going there. Also, April is the whole month of April is considered Earth Day. Because of the no event this year, they decided to go with like a 30-day or something different every day to celebrate Earth Day, and our office does participate in that. And in that, we're having 2 garlic mustard pulls, which they at a couple of the parks. And Kelly's going to do a prairie walk 3 different times on April 29th, like at 10, 2, and 4 for different groups to come in. So we keep our groups down to 10 or less. Of course, we'll be outside. And we'll go look at that stuff. And also, as far as education programs, we did 2 newsletters this past year. Basically 3,000 each get mailed out, plus our websites. And we're also hosting 7 different events during April, basically regarding native plants and soil quality type information. And also we're keeping the township's newsletter busy, along with the commissioner's newsletter, which we appreciate letting us get some information in there. We're working with the cities and townships on that. We're getting displays back in libraries since they're opened up, so that's always a good program. We have school programs still going on, what we can get in schools anyway, with the coloring and poster contests and some education things, but we're working on a program to be able to get in their land labs where we could be outside and doing some things with the students. And Abby's in a process of working on some stream monitoring through the Rocky River Watershed Council. There's 2 sites in that, and then 1 site that drains south to the Tuscaroras. That would be over by Hubbard Valley Creek. She's done some just stream testing there for quality of life and just quality of stream. It's basically just for our information. It's not really for EPA regulations or anything like that, just to start to hopefully then, by having some base plans of stream qualities, it will help in the future if we do go after any type of grants or funding to do any projects in those watersheds. So it's kind of laying some base work to get going with that.
So Jim, when she does that, is she testing for nutrients in the water as well?
Nutrients, dissolved oxygen, quality should do a macroinvertebrate test. We're checking for little critters and different things in the stream too. And just the clarity of the water and nutrients, basically.
So, I mean, would that have the H2O program that Governor DeWine is pushing across the state to get less runoff into Lake Erie?
Well, yeah, that may, but the problem is that program's still pretty much, hasn't migrated this way yet far enough. It's basically stops just like Huron County west.
Okay.
It's mainly just for the western basin and some of the central basin. Those are the key priority areas, and there is a lot of interest out there. They've spent their quota and got a lot of things happening on the ground, and a lot of things happening there. The new program, Commissioner Hambley would know about this more than I would, is one that he helped endorse, was House Bill 7, which is funding to look at water quality standards and products and preservation programs for the areas of Ohio. Like Ohio's will be divided up into 7 regions, and I'm not sure which region that we're going to be in, but each of that each of those regions are going to have their own separate person to manage different water quality things and soil management and those things. That's another initiative that the governor had put forward that the legislators passed. It became active yesterday, actually. It became law. Not much happening at this point. There's no one hired or nothing happening yet. I don't think the funding's quite lined up yet, but it's going to be there. Some other things that we've done as far as technical things, we've done. Eric and I have gone out on different properties throughout this spring where we've done some what we call inventory and evaluations of properties, where some people just want us to come out and have a look at what can they do to manage their property with their resources they have. Just kind of give them information how to work with that. We've done over 12 pond visits where people have issues with their ponds or they're putting ponds in. Of course, we've had 14 drainage complaints and stream issues that people had that we go out and talk to them on how they might be able to resolve some of those things. He's up to 5 concept plans, which are developments that are going in this spring that people just come to the table and say, here's what I want to do, where do I need to go from here, what are some resources I need to be concerned with, and we look at those with the Planning Commission, and Eric does a fine job on that. And also the Muskingum cover crop program that we've had for the last 5 or 6 years is going again this spring, which is offered to farmers to plant cover crops on specific acres, and so it's only available in the south part of the county. And just an update on our prairie. It is coming along. It's of course it still looks like a weed patch right now because the stuff's died back, and that's supposed to look like that. But the new plants are coming up. We've got signs. We're working with the county building department on doing some framing of the signs, and we're going to get them installed, hopefully within the next month or so.
So the signs will be to direct people's attention to certain plants?
Yes, they'll be there, an explanation of what's going out there. And as I said, they're all that stuff is basically through donations and some grants that Linda has secured. And Linda did retire in December, and I think she's a little bored right now because we get a few calls now and then, and I'm not sure we're keeping it up to the quality that she wanted, but we're doing. It's looking fine.
She can always stop out. It's
Absolutely.
open to the public.
It is. And that's all I have at this point in time. Let's have some questions for me.
A couple questions, Jim. How are the butterfly gardens going? Are those still?
Well, those are still there. I mean, obviously, they look similar to the prairie.
Right.
They kind of look a little ragged right now, but as we speak, she could be doing some pruning there now, getting some of the dead material out of there, because you want to leave it there for, I've been told, for at least you have 6 consecutive 60-degree days, as that way the critters that are living in there will be moving out of them. If you take them out too soon, you're moving the critters away, and it's not a good thing.
But generally, because I mean, they're, and I forget the name of the program, where we encouraged folks all over the county to plant gardens.
Yes.
For the butterflies and the migration?
Yes. We do have, I can't think of the name either myself. Yeah, that's been going, pledge, the butterfly pledge, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And then in the past, we've done a bus trip. Is that going to be?
I hope to. It'll be, usually it's September, October.
Okay. I was thinking it was in the
That was
spring.
fun.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is on the back of my mind.
All right.
That we're going to be
And then
doing
the
that.
annual meeting is going to be live this year? That's
Yes,
usually
yeah.
November, right?
Typically it's November, but we could bump it up a little bit if we need to be like in an open venue type situation. We're in discussion. Well, that'll be discussed today.
Okay.
We have a board meeting this afternoon.
How much land do you need for a butterfly garden?
Size of your desk here.
Really?
You don't
Okay.
you don't need much.
Okay.
You just want to create an environment with plants that they would like to come to. I wouldn't suggest it out near the highway, but off the highway a little bit. You're acting as a bait, kind of. You want to keep it away.
Milkweed and I forget all the different.
Well, milkweed's
plants.
good for the monarchs. That's how the monarchs would make it. But there's lots of different plants and varieties, and Kelly's very good on that. And I wish I'd have brought it. Now I saw he takes some material. She made a great brochure with native plants, and I'll see if she can't have something available for
your.
your...
Come out. Yeah, sure.
when you come
That'd be
out.
great.
So, excellent. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you for
We
your time.
appreciate you coming in.
Take care.
Okay. So we have a couple of announcements. First off, we have a certificate of recognition for Chuck Calvert. Chuck is retiring from the Board of Elections. He has served the county in a number of capacities and served the community in a variety of different ways, and we appreciate his service and everything that he's done for the county and the community.
Yes. Thank you very much, Chuck.
So we will give that certificate to him at the next Board of Elections meeting. We also have a liquor permit. This is a request for a transfer from AML Inc., DBA Alexandria's Restaurant at 2835 Medina Road, Medina Township, to 146 Inc., DBA Alexandria's Restaurant at the same address. And the permits are D1, D2, and D3, which are various sorts of alcoholic beverages in sealed containers for consumption on the premises or carry out. And that is all we have. We'll go into discussion session. Colleen, do you have anything?
No, just waiting to talk about our disposal facility.
Jeremy?
I just got a couple things real quick. Over at 8730, we're continuing our building renovations there. I've been working with Stephen at Building Maintenance here to get like a key fob system very similar to the ones at all the other buildings. That got priced out about $20,000 to have all the wiring and computers and fob system installed. So like to move forward with that. And I think we're about $24,000 change orders right about now for the other construction setbacks, I guess you could say, that we ran into. So, and then the other thing is over on Fixler Road between Ridge Road and State. We have an existing sanitary sewer there. There was some interest on the sanitary sewer side. We sent letters out to 12 properties. 6 of the properties were signed a document stating that they were interested in sewer over there. So that would really, so we're going to most likely move forward with that. They also, when we sent those letters out, they asked about water. So we sent out additional letters, inquiring about water, just to see. We haven't. We're still waiting for the results on that. So,
is there water down State Road? In other words, could you do a loop if they,
not down State. There's some that comes down Ridge,
right?
And it heads east on Fixler for I want to say about 500-600 feet. And dead ends there. So the idea would be to run it to almost State Road, depending on the outcome of that result.
Okay.
So, but
all right,
that's it.
As long as you're there,
Yeah.
why don't we talk a little bit about the request from Westfield Township?
Sure.
For the fees. So the commissioners received a letter from Westfield Township signed by the 3 trustees asking that we implement a 25-cent per ton fee that would, I'm not sure they're asking for us to implement a fee. They're asking for compensation.
Of financial assistance.
Financial
Yep.
assistance to the township of 25 cents per ton. And they have cited a couple of code sections that apparently allow for some consideration of that. As I understand it, we just passed and had approved our solid waste plan.
Correct.
And it's a 5-year plan.
Mhm.
And this was not considered in the plan.
Correct.
And in order to provide any kind of financial assistance, we would have to amend that plan.
That's correct. It has to be any financial assistance would have to be in accordance with the solid waste district plan, and with the plan that we had just passed in February that got approved. It does not specify anything about providing financial assistance to any townships in accordance with that code.
Are there any other townships that are affected by this code? Or is it specific to Westfield?
I think it's specific to Westfield because it specifies that it's part of that the.
Right, there has to be among a variety of different things, but it says resulting from the location or operation within their boundaries of a recycling facility.
So wear and tear with trucks on their roads and stuff like
Correct.
that.
So the facility is actually located on Lake Road there. That is a county highway maintained by the county engineer from 224 north, and obviously 224 is an ODOT maintained road as well. So the township doesn't have any maintenance of Lake Road, at least in front of the district there.
Yeah, yeah. So we have their request. One of the things that we need to find out is what are their actual costs that are associated with having the facility there. They make reference to emergency services, maintaining roads, and other public services. This is a discretionary item. It is not something that, as they use in their letter, that they are entitled to compensation for.
Have you, solid waste has been your area, have they historically made amendments in the 5-year plan, or do you wait for reevaluation of the 5-year plan?
In the solid waste plan, it says amendments can be done, but it has to meet a material change of circumstance, which is defined in the plan. In the solid waste plan, and that includes maybe loss of revenue or loss of material, but it has to meet that actual definition. And unfortunately, this particular request doesn't meet that material change of circumstance definition in the plan to trigger an amendment.
So if we, for other reasons, need to amend it, we could include something like this.
Correct.
In there.
Should we
ultimately, I think we need. Go ahead.
So should we request of the township, more detailed numbers on their costs for road maintenance and EMS services, so that it's ready should an amendment come up of solid waste?
Right.
That we would have the information, and they could be then part of the amendment discussion.
Correct. I think that's fair.
So you want to request that of them?
Yep, I can I think it was Mike Schmidt that sent that up, so I can get in touch with him.
Okay.
Right. So, okay.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. Scott, you have anything?
I do.
Rhonda?
Kind of do.
Kind of?
Just an update. So, over the last couple of years, we've been working to increase public outreach and awareness through our office. And Brian and I are always looking for ways to expand that. So I just wanted to let you know that we're in the beginning stages of setting up a YouTube channel for the commissioners that will include not only the commissioner meetings, but some Medina County history, some educational things as well. So just want to let you know we're continuing to work on our outreach.
Excellent.
Very good.
Thank
Good
you.
to hear.
Thank you.
I don't think we have anything else to come before the board.
Motion to adjourn?
I will second. Roll call?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. We'll
Have a
see you
nice
all next
week.
week. Have a great week.